Hello everyone, my name is Scalti, and welcome back to our Satisfactory Let's Play. Last we left off, we got a simple Caterium line set up so that way we have some readily available for our Mark II power system. And then we have the remainder or the excess going into the awesome sink to just further increase our point gain so we can eventually make some purchases out of the awesome shop. We also got a simple modular frame factory set up with a couple issues along the way, but we got those resolved for the most part. And again, not running at 100% efficiency until we get the Mark III Logistics unlocked, which thankfully is something we're going to be working on. So with that, I hope you enjoy. Well, I think we're at 35 coupons. I think it's time to go shopping and start working towards actually acquiring, now that we have some of these steel items available as well. I kind of like the idea of starting to work towards making some purchases that are more important now than, or sooner than later to an extent. Although we're not going to really be doing too much like refining of the designs of anything just yet, in terms of like replacing foundations and style, using customizer too much. I mean, honestly I think the concrete foundation would definitely be worth unlocking. Like I think grit metal, I think this requires steel. I'm not sure what the asphalt requires, maybe like coal or something. But I think unlocking this as a style would be quite nice. And then when it comes to like the walls and whatnot, I know eventually I would definitely like to, maybe once we actually start building the base, like unlocking this for the full frame window, which would be kind of nice. I mean, I guess we can just now, it's only 3, I suppose. Like we don't need like the tilted walls. I think the roofs at architecture, yes, fix it roofs would be kind of nice to have, as well as the frame, actually the frame pillars that we absolutely need, because you've seen the update 5 versions of the designs that I've been working on. The small frame pillars, what we use to transport our items up from each floor. So I definitely want to use that. Obviously it requires steel, I'm assuming. I don't know if we really need too much else. I mean, I know stylistically like the structural frame set would be nice to have, but that's also 10, which is pretty lofty of a price. But I think with what we have here now, this would be a worthy unlock for the moment. Specifically, I guess let's look at what some of these cost. So we just unlocked power, which we know is requires quite a bit of Caterium. 8 for that one and 16 for this one. Jeez. So yeah, steel beams, concrete, steel beams and concrete. Ooh, steel beams and silica. We might have to revise our strategy. Instead of going like maybe after we get steel locked down, we go after refining those quartz nodes, and start storing some silica or something. But I think there's also going to become a crossroads point where, as I mentioned previously, you know, building up some kind of like, you know, home base, if you will, with storage over in that area over there. And working and getting all the the trucks or the tractors and whatnot, bringing all of that over to that location, which we can technically do now. So, but first, you know, we're kind of strapped on power for the moment. So I definitely think it's worth our time now to go ahead and expand our power by at least another 8 generators, which is not a lot, but it's at least something. So we're going to need 3 more water extractors. We're going to need at least 1 pump. And then, I mean, maybe we don't even technically need an additional pump, because we have a couple extra open joints on the pipeline junction with what we have there now, but we'll see. At least we have all of this stuff automated to you know, get this taken care of. So we're just gonna go ahead and grab some material and head over to the coal generators. All right. So also one thing that I recall is I had it was there and it's gone. If I remember, I'll mention it. Okay, so we're gonna essentially just repeat exactly what's on the opposite side here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, middle, 1, 2, 4. So these can go away. And how far back do we have this? Essentially we have it's in the middle. Right, middle foundation. Okay. So we swapped. I find it interesting how we can do this with the coal generators, but we can't do something similar with the assemblers. I just find that particularly odd. I'm also debating on reworking how we have the water operating below here. Because I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to, when I'm designing out the builds, especially like this one, because this is a, you know, it's a more permanent design. You know, I would want it to look good in time once we have the unlocks available. And the one thing that I would like to try and work on doing is it just noodle? Right? Yeah, it's just noodle. Kind of make the bottom a little bit more purposeful. And what I mean by that is, like right now we have the water extractors and they just come up and then they go up and it's kind of like a little floaty. Obviously, like I want to avoid that. But then it's also very flat underneath here. I feel like the power, like it's organized and clean, but it's kind of meh. But I had, like, as you can kind of tell, these foundations out here, I kind of had the idea of like wrapping around and like making these inside in some capacity potentially. And I'm also wondering if it makes more sense to try and maybe bring these in more, and instead of going up on this side on the outside here, what if we were to do the same thing but on the inside and kind of bring all of this in a little bit more, so that way what we do, as you can see up above, this is the edge where we have our generators. So if we made this edge the cutoff point, anything that sticks out in this side, you know, we just can't do that. So we need to bring these water extractors in, so that way what we can do is either we have no gap and we just start building more foundations and we make a huge platform, or we have a small gap like this and then we have more on this side running all the way down, and then maybe do like a walkway in between or something like that. Essentially where I can more easily just take this and repeat all the way down as we, you know, unlock the ability to push more coal to the area, and ultimately allow us to have more power generators here. But for now, I think we're just going to maintain the simplicity of everything. Just go ahead and mirror our design. There's nothing really new here, admittedly. unless I like really think about like a better way to build this, I don't foresee, like I'm just gonna go ahead and just get all of this complete, because there's nothing really new here to see. So keep you posted. All right, so I think I might have come up with a pretty neat and different design, as you can see here. This looks fairly different than what we have going on over here. And the key difference is, so we brought in the pipes low like this, but we're bringing them straight up these walls here. And what I kind of really like is this seems a little overly complex, like this is an extra pipe, that's an extra pipe. That doesn't really need to be there. We have all these like extra cross joiners in the loop, like this doesn't need to be there either. Or this one on the end. And it feels just a little overly complex, and it's kind of functioning on two different axes, if you will. So like we have a joiner coming in, you know, on the z-axis, it's coming down, and then we have like this one on like the X or the Y or whatever it is, like the linear axis, or the horizontal, and then the vertical axis, we'll call it that, keep it simple. Versus this is all just kind of along the wall. Kind of looking up at it's giving me a little bit of vertigo, so let's go up here, kind of look at what we have going on. So we have our, like we did here, we have our pump here, so this is our respective pump here, and this goes up, this feeds into two coal generators on the other side, this goes up and then splits, and so this essentially is becoming a key pipe. This goes over, this splits down to this one, it keeps carrying over, and that splits into those two there, which is being fed by this one here. So we still have our nice even distribution that we need to make sure that all of the coal generators are getting enough water. What I also particularly like about this setup here is, from a practicality standpoint, we can kind of, we have one pump, or we have 3 flow indicators. So yes, we have 1, 2, and 3 here as well, which is totally fine. But I really like that kind of setup, and like making this more internal. Like this is just going to be like a long bank, if you will. And this also allows us the ability to bring in the water extractors from the other side here. So if we go out, we can now see that we are actually inside of our necessary line here. So essentially we were just able to bring those in. Probably kind of tweak how we're doing things here, because the other option too is, and also I like how these show on the bottom here. I think it's kind of neat. I'm not sure if we can really do anything with it, but I just kind of think the clean repetition on the exterior facing side is pretty nice. Like just connecting these straight in feels a little meh, if you will. So I'm actually almost wondering maybe we forego the flow indicators here and we rely on these flow indicators up here to show that there's fluid moving. And what we do is we actually just bring this up. So instead of doing like a hole here, we do, I think we can swing one. Actually here, do it on this side. Maybe something like here. This just goes straight up and in like that. And we're almost kind of hiding the logistics inside of a vertical sandwich layer to an extent. And then maybe like, maybe this doesn't even look like this. This just goes straight up and in. Or actually maybe we go the other way with it. Like that. So we can see flow coming out of here. We can walk underneath it just fine. If we really wanted to, we can even actually bring the water extractors in more and do something more like that and bring them in even closer. Then we wouldn't be able to really walk. I guess we could do like walkways over top, and then like this becomes kind of like a walkway system too. But I kind of I like, that's not what I want to do. I do like the overall clean kind of thing that we have going on here. I almost wonder, even just do it like that, to be honest. Although I guess that looks weird with how like that part where this expands out to the maximum expansion point of the flow indicator is kind of chilling there. So we can always just leave this for now. We can honestly always do walkways over top, but I want to keep this design over on this side. I'm not going to change the other side and make it symmetrical quite yet. One, because if we start messing around with this, everything shuts down. So I think we're just going to leave this side as is and kind of let's, you know, like sit on this a little bit, you know, let it stew, if you will, and see maybe like in time we, you know, we come back later and we identify a flaw. So before we kind of like lock into this design, I think we just, you know, do the one side and kind of see how it goes. So all you really need to do now is get the sandwich layer above this in place with like all of the coal from the one other node. How do I want to do the power too? Because that's a little tricky. Just bring it down for now. Or actually what we can do, will that work? Can we just do this for now? Or is that on the opposite? Oh yeah, that works. Then we can just do the same thing over here. So I really like this like new iteration, if you will. Oh, it needs to be a double-sided. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get the power all connected up. Son of a gun. And get the coal routed from the one extra node that's over there, and go from there. Oh, I guess actually, whoops. Let's see. Could just do a double-sided here, in the middle. And then what power's gonna be here? So we run a double-sided, call it here in the middle, up top. It's not too bad. Then we can just run, oh, nope, we gotta bring it down. Yeah, just do it like that. Then we can just like route power like this. So maybe we turn that around. I guess maybe that actually will be clipping on the inside though. Can I bring it all the way through? Where was that at? That's like underneath the flow indicator on that side. So here. Down more? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get all this sorted out. We'll go from there. So the one downside here is this is going to look really jank. Not for long, but we need to get the 120 down, and we're going to do just a very, very simple just split. We're just going to go straight down and just kind of divvy it all up. Nothing overly special, but a necessary evil for right now. This will lead us to greener pastures on the morrow. So if we, let's see, my Mark II is all the way down. I wish they had, you know, like, to an extent, I wish they had, marked 0.5 belts, or like the ability to control belt speed. Like if it's a 60 speed belt, you had the ability to reduce that speed by choice. We also will eventually, we'll actually need to come back and we need to go get a power slug and come back with 2 power shards and overclock that. Okay, so that's all sorted out. Everything should be going up and in. So we're connected, but no point in burning anything, it looks like. So just gotta go back in. See, how did we do it on this side though? I think we were 1 step out, or did we clip in? Yeah, we were 1 step out. And it was just down and to the left, I believe. I guess it's just right in front of the white beam. The sound of them spooling up is real nice. You're on the network. And can't see what that is. I'm assuming it's, wait, so if it's 600 from... How many is this per 90? 75 megawatts times 8, 156. Oh yeah, 600, so it's 1200. Once everything's online, I believe. Right? 75, 150 per 2, so that's 300, and then another 300, so that's, yeah, we'll have 1200 megawatts once everything spools up. I wish we had some excess coal to just dump in and kind of get this show on the road, but it's going to take a little while, but we know that we have the room now to continue on our journey. And once we get like more aesthetic related components unlocked, we will definitely be coming back and touching this up. Also, if we switch this to concrete and then just to build it now, it's 7 concrete instead of the standard. So then I'm curious. Toggle the build mode. You can sample stuff. You can't switch styles to build with though. Hey everyone, post-editing Scalti here. Just wanted to clear up some information that I wasn't aware of during the recording of the episode. You can see in the upper right corner here where it says Fix a Foundation. This is a drop-down menu where you can change the styling for the foundations in that list below it, and then you can assign those to your hotbar, and then those become the default foundations that you build with. Just wanted to clear that up. And before I go on this rant about this should be included, so turns out it already is, my mistake, but I just wanted to make sure that no one has the incorrect information when watching the video. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Like you can open up the build menu, you know, concrete foundation, then click on it. So you'd have to like build what, 1, then go into the customizer, switch it, sample it, and then you can build with more. I think it would be Wait. Hold R. Oh, it's just build mode. So I wish there's nothing else that you can really do that with. Actually, let's take a look at pipes real quick. So you swap build modes with R again still. Yeah, I think a UX user experience change would be allowing people to have like the pure concrete foundation style unlocked. Then you should be able to build that one by default without having to first build a normal foundation, switch the style, and then sample it to then continue building. I think that would be a huge beneficial change. I think I might make a short little video on that on the side and like give it to them. We got 2 more coupons. Nice. We'll just let that sit. Okay, so we have our power sorted out. It is time to get our steel factory underway. So bear with me. I'm going to kind of dally and look at values. Actually, you know, I was going to just do it kind of off camera, but I think let's just go ahead and take a look. So we know that our foundries output 45 per minute. It's 45 iron, 45 coal in per minute. And if I recall correctly, the recipes on these work pretty well. So 60 ingots in per minute, so that would be what, 240's not bad. Wow, let's see, 45 and 45, that's, we can do 300, which would, that's a lot of steel beams, to be honest. That's 5, that's 50, 75 steel beams per minute. I don't think we need that much as like a base. But we also have to think in terms of whatever we build for our steel, we should be anticipating Mark III belts. To an extent, I'm almost tempted, or even do any more math here. I want to see what it's going to take to get Mark IV. Oh, that's actually the next stage, isn't it? So we have advanced steel production to make the encased industrial beams, but we don't have access to Mark IV belts until we have Phase 2 space elevator, which is a little bit of a bummer, but here's why I think we should do it anyway, to plan for Mark IV belts, because 480, the max belt speed, plays really nice with all of the nodes in the game. You know, 30, 60, and 120 all easily go into 480. So I'm debating, I think we plan out all of this from Mark IV, and I think maybe the steel factory is a more permanent structure, and I think maybe we start messing around with the tractors. But I guess, it's so... there's going to come a point in the game where I don't want to just keep building temporary factories, because then that's all you're going to have. And then what? You're going to go and rework everything? I would very much like to get to a point where we don't need to really worry about that. And I think it's almost 6,000 coupons, or sorry, 6,000 points per minute. And we are probably, let's see, if we're at almost 50%, that's about 75, so we're at 150,000 points per ticket. This is not working out to constantly get a solid income of tickets. So we're at, what are we, 22 right now? But then I guess also some of the things that we would want to utilize for factories, like the steel bits here, require steel beams. So I almost feel like we have to do a temporary steel system. Yeah. So let's look at real quick. So we have 3 normal nodes of coal over here. If we're going to do a temporary system, then I think what we would eventually use this space for, maybe one of the nodes, is for tractor fuel. And I don't know how much fuel or at what rate tractors burn fuel. But we could eventually use this as a fuel depot. But I think if we ping our iron, hopefully, we obviously got this one over here. 250. What's this one? I feel like this might be a pure node. Because there's the concrete, that's pure node. Yes. So if we have a pure node here, we can then match the two coals over there. And so we'll call it 2, because Mark II miners isn't until the next node either. But that would get us up to 480, so maybe we plan a basic steel. No, that's insane. We're just gonna plan a basic steel at 270 because we'll have the belts more readily available. We're not gonna wait around and rely on a temporary factory until we have the next phase of the entire elevator complete. So we'll just plan for 270. So if we do 270, that's, call it, ooh, can we do, if we do a single miner on a normal, it's 120, overclock it to 250, we can get 270 out of it, I believe. So I know we can get 240, and then it's another 30 after that, so that makes sense. Yeah, we can easily get the 270 out of a single pure node. So if it's 270, and the foundries produce at 45 per minute, that's, math, don't fail me now. 270 divided by 3 is 90, divide that by 2 is 45, so it's 6 foundries. And then 270, so if we do look at the steel ingot, that's 60 in per minute. We look at steel pipe, that's 30 in per minute. So we can easily do 3 constructors at 180, and then 3 constructors at 90. We get 60 steel pipes and 45 steel beams per minute. I feel like 45 is enough, especially for Mark III belts. So I think that's what we do. We do 6 foundries and 3 constructors each up here. So let's do that. 6 foundries and 6 constructors. And then actually what's kind of nice is if we really wanted to, we do have that concrete node that we saw over there. So we can always take the concrete with the steel beams that we're producing and to an extent make encased industrial beams or encased steel beams, whatever, what's the name of it? Encased industrial beams. So, and I think based on the output we'd get from this, just this temporary setup, looking at all of the milestones here, we'll be fine. And then maybe we can try and set it up, because we're going to be able to operate our other factories that we have out there that are planned for 240. What we would then be able to do is actually try and sync the excess, and maybe we take a look at the MAM Caterium and we look at smart splitters, which we can just, oh, that's gonna take our Caterium. But then we can look at getting the smart splitters unlocked, because we have the Caterium node. So actually, let's just go ahead and unlock this now. It's out of the way. It's only 3 seconds, and then this opens up. So we need just 10 smart AI limiters for the smart splitters. We can then take all the smart splitters and put them on the factories, the temporary ones, force access into the sink, and we're off to the races. I think that's going to be a solid way to get us some points. So let's get the basic steel up and running, and then next time around we'll start upgrading all our factories and working on getting some points rolled up. So let's see, we need more modular frames so we can go run and get those. Yeah, I'll go grab all the stuff that we need, and then we'll get this built up. It should be relatively simple and fast. Okay, so I think what we want to do is we'll just meet them in the middle. So we'll bring the iron up and over to here, and then we'll bring some of the coal over to here. So we'll start with some foundations at a decent elevation. I think it's probably here. So we need 6 foundries. I guess it's also going to be, I guess maybe we focus going that direction. We don't need that much room to kind of get all of this going, because should be easy splitting, because it's 3 and 3, so it's almost like each foundry is going to go into its own constructor to an extent. So let's actually take a look and see what we can kind of do with the new clearance on foundries. I wonder if we can do the same thing as like coal. No, we can't. Which is lame, because like you can see on the coal, it works out just fine, but then this week we can't get away with the same thing, essentially. I think that's a little silly. Maybe it's the coal generators are bugged to let us do that. So we're still gonna unfortunately need space in between the foundries. It's not that big of a deal. I'm actually gonna kind of swing this over a little bit. I do kind of wish though that we could just not worry about it. I guess maybe we do need another row out on the outside here to kind of work with logistics. But I think I also might re-enable the smart mod. 4, 5. So that way that I can place these a little faster. Personally, it's just a little on the slow end. So in front, we'll just go ahead and do I think we'll just stack splitters. So I think we might need to go to like say, oh yeah, okay, we're actually gonna do it here. I kinda like that idea. That'll be kinda neat. So if we did it between the two, so we do it between these two as well. Because then what we can do is just go in. Oh, I thought that was going to be a clean. That's fine. I thought it was going to be a clean 90. Or we can just go like this. Kind of look cool, I guess. If we wanted to, we could always just, you know, split them apart a little bit. But this will, for our needs, this will work. I guess also something to consider is we're gonna have to use 2 coal nodes. So if we have 6, then actually what we do is get rid of these. I was going to be like, oh yeah, we have to do a 2 to 3 split, and then no, we don't have to do that. That's ridiculous. Maybe for the ground then we do it. Yeah, we're gonna do just 2 splitters for the coal. It's gonna be coming in on 2 lines anyway, so we just do not that close. So we just do 1 straight in. We'll just do the left sides, I suppose. Keep it organized to an extent. And then we still need 3 splitters, so we can just do 1. Then middle here. This. I feel like that's too close. Oh, perfect. I don't suppose I did that. Yeah, that's fine. How does that look? Oh, it's plenty of room. All's well. And then here, excuse me, you just need to split like this. The iron comes off this way. Put a miner down there. And then we'll just do this. So yeah, it'll be running decently efficient, I suppose. If we need 45, 45, 45. So it's mainly the iron that's going to be hamstringing everything. But since we have the 2 coal nodes, I see an iron node out there. I kind of want to go, well, no, because we're going to get the steel pretty quickly. So we'll just go ahead and get our miners placed. Oops. So I know you know, I've seen the comments about the anticipation of really clean builds, and we're doing this. Trust, I get it. But I think this is an important process because it's not all, oh yeah, let's just pop on creative mode and make really pretty factories. This is kind of like the legwork that you have to kind of go through, you know, your due diligence or, you know, due process to earn the ability to make really clean and pretty looking builds. And you know, you got to start somewhere, and I think this is the, you know, the showcase of that. And it's the patience and willingness to allow something to start out simple, unattractive, and then, oh, this is going to be such a cheesy metaphor. You know, it's kind of like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, where you got to start with the basics. It's unattractive, it's, you know, simple, and you got to give it time, let it, got to nurture and hone the craft, if you will. Anyway, it's enough of that metaphor, but you guys understand what I'm saying. You guys, you have to kind of essentially earn it. You know, I think that's something that I kind of lost sight of, and I think it is reflected in some of the guides that I made, taking advantage of certain products or assets before they can, you know, you would reasonably even need to, or really even be able to build something like that. You know, I guess a lot of feedback I received on, like, say, like the tier 1 iron and copper components guides, where they're like up in like that built out structure. You know, it's almost like at this point in the game, you'd be able to do something like that. Now, granted, it's, you know, using Mark II belts, but there's like the glass windows and things like that, so you need like Awesome Shop to actually buy things. You need the resources to actually obtain coupons in order to buy things. So I think, you know, by going through this process and playing through the game normally and not granting myself unlimited resources and accessing all the technology, it kind of, you know, brings me back down to and leveling the playing field to an extent. You know, I was like, you know, kind of riding that cloud 9 because I had access to all this cool technology and it's fun and exciting and whatnot. So anyway, less monologue, more building. So we have 45, 45, that's 90. So that can be 3 constructors for our steel pipes. So we'll just do... Actually, we'll just do the 2 for the 3. So we'll merge and then split. So we're going to bring this out a little bit. I guess maybe let's just make this kind of compact then. So we got our merger output. Pretty sure that works. Then we're just going to split it immediately. Bring in our constructors here. Can I not? Yeah, I can totally move it closer. I mean, I guess I don't really need to. It's fine. Yes, I want to actually. By actually clipping a little bit, you're saving resources because you don't have to build a conveyor pole. And that's like ridiculous min-maxing. Because by snapping it like this and then building on the sides, you just get the perfect 90. You don't need to put down the conveyor pole to then get the proper turn. 1 second. I didn't drink any water after that monologue. Okay, so we got these 3 set up on these 2 foundries here. This is going to need to be a Mark II for the moment. And then, what do we have left? 4 foundries into, so this is a 4 to 3. So we're doing 45 and 45, that's 90 plus 45, 45, that's 180, which we're building 2 Mark III belts. We can actually merge all these together as well. So that's what we'll do. Go ahead and merge. Yeah, we'll merge here in front of this one. Like so. And then out of here, we'll do a split in similar fashion. Split here, so we got steel beams at 60. Oh, that's right, we have an alternate recipe. Speaking of which, probably worth before we do next phase of the elevator at this point, because I kind of botched it initially. Yeah, we didn't really get any of the particularly strong ones like the casted screws that I was kind of looking forward to on the initial research. The couple of hard drives that we got before we went to the next phase of the elevator. So I think it'd be worth it to kind of slow down on the elevator process and kind of go do some of the other more mundane chores around the planet, and you know, go get some hard drives, because we'll also have maybe the means to unlock some more. I wonder if I just, yeah, can I just do 1 and then 2? Because then we'll just bring the steel down here. Also, the output is what, 60 pipes per minute? Yep. And then this will be 45. So we'll do here. Oops. Back one. Oh, that's not even in alignment. Okay. There we go. Oh. Still off. Let's check. Okay. I know I just talked about like, oh, let's just put the merger up here because then it's 1, 2 conveyor pulls that we're saving. Again, it's just ridiculous min-maxing and being neurotic. Okay, so power. Just pull. Ouch. Actually, do we have... Oh, we did. Get... No, it kind of attaches to stuff, doesn't it? Yep. Okay, so we'll just pull this over here. So I believe we're short on quick wires. We're just going to use Mark 1s for all of this. Is that correct? Yeah, we only have 10. So we'll keep it simple. Which will come up in between the miners. Oh, wait. Wait. And we'll just kind of work it down the middle here like this. Oh. I can at least not be that terrible. Okay, and then last but not least, power to the iron miner. Oh, I thought I made enough. There have been many a time where I'd be short on something that I can make simply at the bench. Now, like, I had the materials to make it at the bench, but I didn't have the materials to actually make the bench. There we go. Can I run that? Yes, I can. Interesting. I'm gonna leave that just like that. That's pretty cool looking. So we need the power shards for this. And then the miners, I guess, will get a little weird. So it's what, 270 divided by 2 is 135. Yeah, 135. But we'll need 2 at least for the iron. I know we're gonna cap out, so maybe actually we just do the 1. Or actually we need 270, so it eventually would be 3. Yeah, we actually shouldn't even use these right now. That's just gonna be extra strain on the power system, power network, I guess, that we don't need to worry about. But I guess, let's see, actually, so we have, yeah, there's no point in overclocking the coal either, because we're still going to be strapped to the 120 from here, which we were already getting the 120 from the two coal nodes. So We got this all bundled up, and so I'm just gonna wait, collect some resources, and we will get Mark 3 Logistics unlocked. Okay, so while we waited for our beams and pipes to stock up, I went ahead and actually I grabbed some of that Caterium from over on the cliffside. So that way we just have some on hand for some Mark II power poles as needed, but most importantly, we now have Mark III Logistics.
Milestone reached. Logistics can be improved with a large...
Thank you, Rita. So I guess actually let's just keep an active mindset on what we want next. Hypertubes, kind of cool. Well, I think hypertubes might be where it's at currently. Reason being, I don't want to unlock the ability to make Mark II miner though. It's tempting. Maybe never mind. We're not doing hypertubes. We're doing this. We want Mark II miner. I didn't realize this was in here. I thought it was in the next batch, as I mentioned earlier. So this would actually be a game changer, and I think this is, after we get this unlocked, is when we really start to make the more permanent designs, which is going to be really exciting. But we got the Mark III, so between now and next, we will wait for some more steel beams to accumulate, and then make our rounds to all of our current factories and upgrade them so that way they can run at full efficiency. Also add on some modular, I'm sorry, not modular frames. I was thinking about the modular frame factory going up to 10 per minute. Add on some awesome sinks, because I know we're at the increased rate of production. We are definitely going to exceed the consumption rate, which means we're going to have more materials than we know what to do with. And we want the points. Easy peasy. Can I swing this? Nope, still a little short. Come here, you. So yeah, if we are consuming our materials slower than we're actually using them, then I think we genuinely have a shot. Dang it. At getting a decent amount of points fairly quickly. And I'll be completely honest, what I might end up actually doing, which I don't think would be in poor spirit, if you will, is kind of letting the game just run to accumulate the coupons, or rather to accumulate the points that we're going to need to unlock the things that we want to have access to when it comes to actually building the more permanent factories. There we go. So I think with that, we should be getting everything up to speed here. I guess we technically have to overclock the coal here, which would also require some more belts. So I guess let's do that. We have the 2 on us. Let's go ahead and crap that up. Get this all up to 100% efficiency, and we'll go ahead and call it there. Oops, I don't need that. I need these. And actually, we need to I'm just gonna crap these all up. I can't remember if we put in some power drones or not into the one miner. And I completely lost my train of thought with that statement. Come on. So yeah, I think letting the whole just world run so that way we can really get going on what I personally would like to get going. Oh no. Oh, jeez. That is right? Yeah, that is right. So we need 3 here. Ooh. We really need to go find some power slugs, which we'll just save. Do it like that. Oh, wait, hold on. We would have to, let's see, what merge? So 120 and then 150 this goes up to? Yeah, we could always technically do that. That would save us a power shard by doing a line of 150 and a line of 120. And then merging and then splitting. So yeah, I think maybe we do some. That's still a Mark 1. That is a Mark 1. Wait, that's already a Mark. What's going on here? That'll do it. Yeah, so we need more power shards to bring this up to speed. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up there, and next time we will get focused on potentially building a more permanent structure somewhere. I think maybe actually we start experimenting with the truck stops built into the factories. I'm not 100% certain. There's a lot of choices here. I'm going to think on it, and I'll get back to you. Alright. Adios. Well, again, pretty successful progress so far. Expanded our power situation so that way we're not too strapped. We have a decent amount of headroom for another factory or two. I guess we did spend it on the steel factory, as you can see here. But yeah, this was actually really nice to get set up because we have our Mark 3 logistics unlocked now, so we can bring our other factories up to 100% efficiency, and then eventually, sink the excess from those into the awesome sink to get the points for the coupons to make the purchases from the awesome shop once more, so that way we can actually build some more long-term permanent structures. Also, I'm really enjoying the revised pipe system that we have going on underneath our coal generators. I think this is very simple and easy to kind of follow. A little more, less logistically complex as the other one, and easier to actually build in and of itself based on how we're arranging the pipe systems against the wall here. Just overall, the cleaner design, it's a pretty solid improvement. So, but I'll leave it with that. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more content in the future, be sure to subscribe if you're not already, and leave a comment below if you have any questions about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and what it's being done for, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But with that, thanks for watching. Take care.